Yo, what's good YouTube, man? It's Clutch. We back out with another video, man. Today's video, I got you guys with this new rare two-way slashing playmaker build in NBA 2K24. Now, this actually is going to be a pretty solid build right here. You guys do remember from 2K20, definitely was the most popular build back then, and it's still a pretty solid build today. I'm going to show you guys how to make it. So, of course, this stuff right here, personal preference, and then in order to get this build name, you only can make the build at point guard, so you can't go shooting guard or small forward. It will give you different build names. So if you want this build name, two-way slashing playmaker, you do have to go point guard. And now for the height, now you could make this build a small guard if you wanted to, like a 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", even 6'5", if you want to be like 2K20. The builds back then were 6'5". I think 6'6" or 6'7" is the best height for this build. Actually, 6'7" is actually the tallest you can make this build. You cannot go 6'8" and taller. So I went 6'7" personally. I would say 6'6" is probably the only other height I would go. I'm gonna go 6'7". I did go, let's see, I went 191 pounds on the weight, and I did max the wingspan out. So we went 6'7", 191 max wingspan, and again, make sure you do go point guard. If you don't go point guard, it will not give you the build name. Alright, let's get straight into making this build. So I am going to start off with the playmaking first, since we are a playmaker pretty much. So in order to get this build name, anything to do with playmaking, your pass accuracy does have to be at least an 87 for that bronze bailout. If you go 86 and below, it will not give you the build name. So make sure you at least go 87. If you want to go higher, definitely could. It just has to be at least an 87. And then same thing for the ball handle. Ball handle does have to be at least an 87. If you go 86 and below, it will not give you the build name. Same thing there with the pass accuracy. Has to be at least an 87, which is cool. That will give you silver killer combos, unpluckable, and you guys will see every other badge once we upgrade the physicals. And Speedo ball. Now, since our ball handle is only an 87, our Speedo ball does have to be at least a 78. So if you go 77 and below, it will not give you the build name. So ball handle has to be at least an 87, and Speedo ball does have to be at least a 78. That's what I was saying. If you want to go higher, like make a 6'6" or even like a 6'4", 95 ball handling, definitely could. These are just the baseline stats: 87 ball handle, 78 Speedo ball. Alright, and I am going to get the physicals out the way first, well second, just so we can see every single playmaking badge we get. So I am going to go 80 speed for silver hyperdrive, and then I did max out the acceleration to an 83. That will give you silver speed booster. Now, since we are a point guard, I do think it is more important to have a higher acceleration. Now, I have been seeing, there has been a rumor saying that like you don't really need acceleration, the speed is more important. As long as you have the speed booster badge, that's what people have been saying. If you believe in that, you could go 73 excel and 81 speed. As you guys see, you don't lose any badges. 81 speed gives you silver speed booster, and like I said, your badges are pretty much exactly the same. I don't know if I believe in that, especially since you're a point guard. I would rather have the higher acceleration, so I did go 83 excel for the silver speed booster, but like I said, you can also get that with just an 81 speed, 73 excel. And then now that the speed and acceleration are done, let me also do the stamina, put that to a 90, I think 95, yeah, 95. All right, now that the physicals are done, here's all the badges you get for playmaking. So you get blow by, handles for days, killer combo, speed booster, unpluckable, ankle breaker, and triple strike. Pretty solid badges. And then let's finish off the physicals. So I also did put the strength to a 55. That will give you bronze fearless once we upgrade our finishing. And then this build is going to have a 90 driving dunk. Both the pro driving contact dunks, those do require a 78 vertical. So yeah, that's pretty much all we're doing for the physicals. All right, now let's move over to finishing. Now, of course, we are a two-way slashing playmaker. As you would expect, this build is going to have pretty good finishing stats. So driving dunk, bare minimum, I would at least go 87. 87 driving dunk and 75 vertical. Will unlock pro contact dunks off of 2. 89 driving dunk and 78 vertical will give you pro contact dunks off of 1. And if you go 90, you do get that gold precision dunker. So at least go 87 and 75 vertical, like I said, or 89. I went 90 though. This will unlock both the pro driving contact dunks, like I did say, off 1 and off 2. Here's all the badges you get. You guys can see for yourself. And then 70 driving layup is actually perfect. That does give us bronze fearless, like I did say, which does require a 70 layup, 55 strength. And then again, here's all the badges. You guys can pause the video if you need to. Pretty solid badges. You actually get Hall of Fame spin cycle and two-step. All right, besides that, I think that's pretty much, yeah, that's pretty much it for finishing. All right, moving on to shooting with this build. Now, unfortunately, in order to get this build name, your 3-point shot cannot be anything higher than a 77. This is one thing that kind of does suck about the build. You can't go above 77 3-ball. 77 is the absolute maximum, but you guys are about to see it's actually not terrible. I did go 76 3-ball. As you guys see, 77 doesn't really get you nothing, so I just went 76. That will give you bronze agent, silver corner specialist. I did put the free throw to a 67, but like I said, you guys are about to see that 3-pointer is not that bad, even though it is low, because the cool thing about this build, you're probably assuming, oh, if you can't go above 77 3-ball, you probably can't go above 77 mid-range. That's actually not the case. This build, there's actually no cap on the mid-range, I believe. So if you guys don't know, if you go higher on the mid-range, it will give you a lot of good badges. And it also does give you a lot better releases and jump shot bases. Even though you do have a low 3, you still will have really good jump shots because you do have a high mid-range. I'm actually putting the mid-range all the way up to an 86. 86 is really nice, as you guys see. Once you go high on the mid-range, here's all the badges you get. So you get blinders, catch and shoot, deadeye, a lot of really good badges. And the reason I go 86, as you guys see, it gives you this badge called Open Looks, which does improve a player's ability to make wide open jump shots. 2K Labs actually tested that badge out. Make sure you guys do check that out. A really solid badge. It definitely will help, especially on the 3-point line, having that gold Open Looks badge. And like I said, 86 mid-range will unlock a lot of good bases and releases, so it's definitely not bad. 3-ball can't be anything higher than a 77, but you still do have a good mid-range, which means you get a lot of good badges and a lot of good jump shots. All right, moving on to the final category of the build. Now, of course, we are a 2-way slashing playmaker, a 2-way. So in order to get this build name, your perimeter defense does have to be at least an 87. So if you go 86 and below, it will change the name of the build. It has to be at least an 87 for this gold challenger. If you want to go higher, you can. Again, has to be at least an 87. Here's all the badges you get. You guys can see for yourself. Pretty solid badges at 87. And then I did put the steel to an 85. That will finish off the build right there. 85 steel, of course, gives you silver glove, interceptor, and right stick ripper. And as you guys can see, here's pretty much the 2-way slashing playmaker build right here. You guys have really good finishing, both the pro driving contact dunks. You do have a low 3, but like I said, you still do have a lot of good shooting badges because of that high mid-range, and you do unlock a lot of good bases and releases, good playmaking, good ball handling, good pass accuracy. And then you are a 2-way. Of course, you do have good prim D, good steal. Don't really worry about not having block or interior defense. Keep in mind, you're not a 6'2" guard, 6'1" even. You are 6'7", so if you get in front of them with good positioning, I'm telling you, you're chilling. You're 6'7", keep that in mind, so it's definitely not bad. I'd be seeing tiny little guards get stops with 25 interior. On a 6'7", you should be good, like I said. Good physicals. Yeah, pretty solid build. That's the 2-way slashing playmaker. And here's pretty much the build right here. Does have shades of Derek Harper, Spencer Dinwiddie, and Jamal Murray. Like I did say, this build is called a 2-way slashing playmaker. Pretty rare build name right there. Was a very popular build back in 2K20. Probably the most meta build back then. And it definitely still is a pretty solid build in today's game. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of the video. Let me know what you guys think about this build in the comment section below. If you guys have any other builds you guys would like me to make a video on, please let me know down below. I really would appreciate it. Make sure you guys do drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'm out.